Good morning, traders. Good morning. This is Manny, Magoo. Today is Sunday, January the 24th, 2021. I hope everyone's having a good weekend. And I want to get this watch list out there as soon as possible. I'm looking forward to the NFL games today. So basically, it wasn't that easy to find these. I've got 7, again, stocks on my watch list. It wasn't that easy to find them. I've really done some extensive research on here, and I hope they work for next week. But again, until they break certain areas of support and resistance, obviously we sit on our hands and we don't trade. Okay, patience is the key to this business, and if you have patience, you can last in this business, and you're going to make money. Okay, so grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. You're going to want to jot down these notes. You're going to want to jot down these areas of support and resistance that I have drawn, okay? And let's get right into it. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only, okay? If you have any questions, concerns about the way I trade, you can contact your financial advisors and ask them their opinions. Again, I'm a price action trader. It works for me. If you've taken a look at all my videos, literally from November of 2020 when I started to today, you can see that price action trading and the style that I have really does work. Okay, so let's dive right in. First stock on our radar, write this down, TWTR, Twitter. Okay, this is a daily chart on Twitter. It has pulled back here quite a bit. Okay, we also have a gap to fill to the downside, to the upside here actually. Gap down, and now we've got this little gap here to fill. But again, it has to break certain areas before Twitter can start running. Okay, if you've paid attention to my videos, I like drawing my highs and lows on the previous week. So if you take a look at this candle here, this green candle, the 118 candle, the high there is 48.18, and the low on Twitter was 44.40. Okay, I also draw my highs and lows on the monthly chart, the previous month, okay? So if you take a look at this green candle right here, that's the December candle. The high is 56.11, the low is 45.81. So we are above the weekly lows high. Again, but right now on Twitter, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a possible break of 48.18. We're at 48.06 before I take the trade. Okay. Now, folks, if we break this 48.18, which is right now resistance, remember that 48.18 becomes support. If it breaks back down, it's up to you to get out. Okay. I'm not going to tell you when to get out, but I can identify the areas of support and the areas of resistance. Everybody's different the way they trade, okay? Some people trade with a lot more size, but they have to be a lot more cautious. They can't give it too much room. Now, some people trade conservatively as well. They trade with a little bit less size, and you can give it more room. But again, when you get in a trade, you just don't go to sleep, okay? You have to start looking for the next areas of possible resistance. And right now, if I zoom in right here on Twitter, if we break this area, 48.18, guess what? We're going to have resistance at that gap. If you take a look at that candle, 49.49, there should be resistance there, okay? So again, when you get in the trade, start looking to your first areas of resistance, okay? And then identify the break of resistance as support, okay? So Twitter, TWTR. Second on our list is DraftKings, DKNG. Again, that's DKNG, okay? Again, if you go to a weekly chart, it's an inside week. You know I love inside weeks. Inside weeks are weeks of indecision, okay? So the stock is pretty much consolidating. It's trying to kind of pick a trend. Are we going to go to the upside? Are we going to break and go back down to the downside? We don't know. All we know is one thing. Last week's high, $54.45. Last week's low, $50.78. So what am I looking for? Well, I'm looking for a break of 54.45. However, if DraftKings comes down, breaks the low of 50.78, which was last week's low, and maybe finds some support a little lower and comes back inside, I'm going to also take that trade. Okay? Right now, 50.78 is support. But if 50.78 is broken, it becomes resistance. Okay? So again, if it breaks back above and we break this area of resistance, Manny Magoo is going to take that trade. Okay? So that's DraftKings. Okay? DKNG. Third, Proctor and Gamble, PG. Okay, Procter & Gamble really plays by the rules and really plays by the charts. I'm going to show you something, folks, okay? Here is a 10-month chart, a 10-year chart, monthly candles on Procter & Gamble, PG, okay? Last month's high is this candle here, 140.07. The low was 134.20. Right now, Procter & Gamble is at $130. So you can see this month it has come down quite a bit, okay? But Procter & Gamble is a company that really plays by the rules as far as support and resistance. If you take a look at this area back in 2014, it had a December high of 93.89, and then we had another high here in September of 2016 at 94.67 area. But if you take a look to the right, look at this candle here in March. It came almost to the penny from the previous area where there was support, and it bounced off and it went back up. Okay, so again, I like Procter & Gamble. I'm only going to like them when they change trend. Okay, keep an eye here on this 134.20 area because it will go back inside last month's low. Okay, so that's going to be, again, a major area right there of resistance. Okay, it is a monthly candle. Monthly candles hold a lot more weight than weekly candles. But again, the low here is let's see here, 129.99, and Procter & Gamble is at 130. So it can easily break last week's low, then look for last week's low to become resistance and possibly go back inside. I don't know if it's going to do that or not. All I know is one thing. If it breaks that support of 129.99, guess where the next area of support is going to be? Right here. Okay? It's going to be about 128, around the 128.28 area. But this $128 area is probably going to be the next area of support. So maybe if it does break, hits that 128 area and bounces and comes back inside, guess what? Manny Magoo is going to take that trade at $130. Okay, so that's Procter & Gamble for you. Let's see. Next on my list is XOM, ExxonMobil, XOM. Okay, XOM, again, here's the weekly candle. We have an inside week of indecision. The bears and bulls are kind of fighting each other, trying to pick a direction. XOM has a last week's high of 49.74. Last week's low is 46.64. So look for a breakout here of the 49.74 area. Okay? And then we can tackle this high here of 51.08. Okay? So, again, I like XOM. You know, it has been running as of lately. It's really put in a nice base here before it broke out again of this resistance high of the December 14 candle, which is 44.46. As you can see, when it broke out at 44.46, it really went off to the races. Now it's pulled back a little bit. Stocks just don't go up, you know, they don't go up just in a straight, a complete line like a rocket ship. Stocks do have to pull back. They get tired just like everybody else does. Okay, so usually what they do is they come back to an area of support, but this is what I've identified. If you take a look at a daily chart, this is a daily chart, these are daily candles, and you take a look at that August 11th candles high, 46.42, look at what, now the area there at one time was a major area of resistance. Once we broke that area becomes a major area of support. And look what happened. It actually got to 46.64. Okay? 46.64 and it bounced. Okay, so XOM, I like XOM. Keep an eye on that. Fifth on my watch list is mRNA, Moderna. mRNA. Okay, here you have it. Moderna has a high of last week of $137, a low of $120.50. Okay, so these right now, these areas are my support and resistance on the weekly. As you can see, Moderna from $178.50, it has come down quite a bit. Then what did it do? It stabilized here. Okay, found support on the low of 103.26, and then the last 2 weeks it has gone up. Okay, so it has broken the previous week's high. Okay, so again, Moderna is on my watch list. I like Moderna. I think if it can break above this, $137 area, it could possibly run. But again, I don't know. Until then, I just sit on my hands. Okay. Next is SBE. Switchback Energy. SBE has had a pullback. Okay. If you take again a look at the weekly, had a high of $42.45. The low is $38.98. It seems like it kind of consolidates here in this area quite a bit. Let's take a look at the daily. Pull back. Found support on this 1229 candle. Okay, that is going to be support. $38.90. Okay, got to $38.98. That's the low of last week. So right now, we have to, kind of we've identified the areas of support and resistance, and now what we have to do is play the breaks. So again, if SBE breaks this $38.98 area, $38.98 now becomes resistance. So if we can get back inside and break this $38.98, we could take this trade. Absolutely, I'm going to take it. Identifying that $38.98 then is the support. Okay. Again, folks, remember, once an area breaks resistance, the resistance becomes support. And if it comes back down and breaks down again, you can always get out. Okay, there's no rule that you can't. Next on our watch list, last stock on our watch list, this is a brand new one. It's XL. XL Fleet Corporation. Okay, XL has come down quite a bit from the high at $35, which was last month. And right now, I'm identifying the weekly high and the weekly low. Last week's high was $21.39. Last week's low was $18.51. I'm looking for a break of $21.39 to take this long. I kind of want to see where this is going to go. Again, if it breaks this 1851 area, which I don't know, it could. 1851 then becomes resistance, so we can go back inside. But I'm liking XL, and I hope you wrote those areas down. High of 2139, and the low is 1851. All you have to do is go to last week's candle right there, and that's just identify the high and low there. Okay. So anyway, that's it from my watch list for this week. Again, quick rundown. Twitter, TWTR, DraftKings, DKNG, Proctor & Gamble, PG. Number 4 is XOM. Number 5, Moderna, mRNA. Number 6 is SBE. And number 7 is XL. I hope everyone has enjoys the rest of their Sunday. And if you have any questions, if any concerns, please feel free to comment below, or you can send me an email at hunterchasetrading@gmail.com. And if you could, subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell button. You will be notified on every watch list that I put out there. And then what I usually do is I like to usually follow up with a recap maybe midweek if I have some time and I'm not teaching students. So again, folks, enjoy the day, and I hope you enjoyed the watch list. Good luck.